Blessed with natural beauty and abundant in natural resources, Sierra Leone is gaining ground in its post-conflict recovery efforts. The small nation of Sierra Leone is located in West Africa and is perhaps most notably known for its decade-long war which ended in 2002. Throughout the war, the trade of diamond, referred to as blood diamonds, played a central role in the conflict. The illegal trade of diamonds helped to fund and arm rebel groups and fuel widespread corruption. Many have noted that the post-conflict recovery significantly depends on the government's ability to limit corruption amongst officials, which is seen as a chief cause of the civil war. 10 years on from the end of the war, Sierra Leone still faces considerable social and environmental challenges. Widespread displacement has led many citizens to live in poor housing with inadequate sanitation. The legacies of past mining activity also litter the countryside. At a turning point in its history, the Sierra Leonean government is enacting laws to protect their natural resources and harness the development potential of mining. Through implementing standards such as the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative or EITI, the government is improving accountability and attempting to minimize corruption. The EITI will compel all mining companies to disclose their production and payments made to the government to promote transparency and accountability.
One of the main challenges is that the war created a situation where all of the responsibilities for the liabilities left from mining in the past don't have an owner. So you no longer have people that are responsible for cleaning up the mess of old mine sites because the new mine sites had new contracts, new capital, new owners, and in negotiating those new contracts, Sierra Leone's not able to ask those new owners to take on those liabilities.
With greater financial accountability and the effective use of mining revenue, the government is able to invest in much-needed areas like transitioning abandoned mining leases into productive land. Sierra Leone currently collects a fee from artisanal miners for rehabilitation. But a lack of transparency in how these funds are administered means that little progress has been made in cleaning up the legacies of blood diamonds. To aid the cleanup, the Sierra Leonean Environmental Protection Agency are actively involved in leading the planning and prioritization of these mined land rehabilitation efforts. Sierra Leone currently has 6 major mining projects which help to provide the government with income for development initiatives and resources for post-conflict recovery efforts. According to IMF projections, mining development should result in a one-time expansion of GDP growth of over 20% this year and 10% in years to come. The small-scale or artisanal mining sector is also a substantial part of the economy, providing a seasonal livelihood for approximately 100,000 people. Dr. Daniel Franks and Dr. Peter Erskine, researchers funded through the USAID International Mining for Development Center, or IM4DC, recently traveled to the country to assist in these efforts.
I think that the most striking feature about Sierra Leone is that it's resilient. So you've had a long period of war, but now you see such initiative in the institutions, you see such adaptability and flexibility in the people that are responding to building a new society. And that was the most inspiring thing.
The other, as a biologist, the other interesting aspect was the amount of forest degradation that has happened across the country. Didn't appear to be too many areas that had been left untouched, and I guess and areas are burnt regularly every year. So when they clear forests, and I think a lot of the forests have been cleared for years, it looks like, particularly in the dry season when we were there, quite a devastated landscape, but it is quite productive and they have regular rainfall.
The researchers joined an EPA and UNEP tour of 5 industrial and 3 artisanal mining sites and conducted rapid assessments of the land rehabilitation risks. Upon returning to Freetown, the researchers reported back on their findings.
Well, surprisingly, the rehabilitation challenges aren't that great. And I think that's a good finding for the Environmental Protection Agency and Sierra Leone in general. But what we found with artisanal mining, we were expecting large areas of land that would provided difficulty technically for rehabilitation. We didn't find that. We found that the demonstration projects that had existed had been quite successful, and those projects that had existed were also relatively simple projects. So it mostly involved just covering back over the pits and then developing some small-scale agriculture. Now, if that's your desired future, agriculture, then that's a pretty good outcome, that it doesn't take too much technical effort to get a usable land use out of the area.
In the case of Sierra Leone, the challenges will come in addressing the social and governance issues of rehabilitating artisanal diamond mining land. This is where initiatives like the EITI can play a big part in the future by ensuring rehabilitation bonds are properly spent. The IM4DC remains committed to supporting nations like Sierra Leone to harness development opportunities through mining. A full report detailing the findings of the research is available on the IM4DC website.